First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus, homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming, homage to Master Sakya Tsang Kong, the Zhong Rinpoche, homage to the 16 Karmapa, His Eminence Dharma King, and homage to Master Dukden Torche. And to all the deities enshrined at the Taiwan Lechang Temple, we pay homage. And homage to the main deity of Homa, the Maharaka Raja. Simu, Tutan Siddhi Rinpoche, and all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, temple directors, all disciples present here and over the internet, and the participating VIPs today. From the Taiwan Government Chief Secretary, Mr. Tsang Peifu and Mrs. Tsang. And from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Secretary General Daniel Liao's wife, Dharma Sister Judy. And the council person from Hualien County, Miss Yo. Troubadour School Professors Group, the Special Professor Wang Jingxian, Professor Wang Li, Professor Hong Xinyi, Professor Mai Yihuang, Professor Cai Guoyi, Professor Gu Haoxiang, Professor Ye Xiuwen, and Dr. Yu Jiangcheng, Dr. Liang Caofan, and Medical Doctor Lin Jun'an. And the representative for the legislator Cai Ji-chang, Ms. Chen Hui-mei. The representative to the councilperson of Tainan City, Cai Wang-quan. The representative to the councilperson from Kaohsiung City, Xu Hui-yu. And the president of the Worldwide Lotus Light Charitable Society, Master Tsang Ren. The president of the Lotus Light Charitable Society of Taiwan, Mr. Li Chunyang. From Bhutan, Namgal Kampu. And a well-known TV personality, Mr. Tai Ziyuan. Mr. and Mrs. Zhu Jinshui. And from the Jingyi Enterprise General Manager, Ms. Tsang. And from Qiping Furniture Manager, President Ms. Huang. Producers for the CTI TV 给你点上新灯 Dharma Sister Rebecca Shiachi.
My sister 卢胜梅女士。我的大学学弟29期，联勤测量制度厂。
And a junior from my Civil Engineering College, which is the 33rd class, Mr. and Mrs. Fang. Yeah? Class 29? No. Senior, junior, 29 class? Oh, 29 class. Class 29 from a different college. Because in my college, we were class 32, 32nd class. And then when they were combined with the Dzogchen Science and Tech College, that become class 28. And they are the class 29, so they are junior. So, I still remember you, Mr. Fang. Your face was round before. You look really young, very young. And your skin is fair. Mr. Fang Rongsen. And also a junior in my college, Mr. Xiang Zhonghe. Welcome. And he became the manager of the factory. So there was a time that he became like a lieutenant or a lieutenant major, major general. There was a time when the head of the factory was like a lieutenant general. So I provided my service there for 7 years. And I became a survey engineer officer. So in this factory, he would held the highest position. So he was either a major general or a colonel. And from across the strait, a science and technology exchange. Is that right? Mr. Tsang. This memo here, I didn't read them all. So good afternoon everyone, how do you do? In Chinese.
And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. 圣诞快乐，新年快乐。Selamat siang, selamat petang. Kamsahamnida. And hola, amigo. Amigo. Hola, amigo. 萨瓦迪卡。还有呢 normal, こんにちは and good afternoon. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. 感谢大家今天来参与。
Thank you everybody for your participation in this Ragaraja Homa fire offering ceremony. And Ragaraja is the major deity for magnetization. So Ragaraja and Gurugule are the two magnetizing deities. And Ragaraja has a wrathful appearance, the same with Gurugule Buddha Mother. She also has wrathful appearance. So there's some anger, some rage in her smile. So that's really hard, very difficult. You're smiling and angry at the same time. But for Ragaraja, he has wrathful appearance. But this deity is considered as a magnetizing, because Ragaraja in Japanese is called Aizen Myo. Aizen. In Chinese, iron. I thought it's Aizen Doje. Aizen is Japanese and Doje is Tibetan, meaning Haruka. Myo meaning the Vidya Raja. It's like the wisdom king or radiant king. I understand a little bit of Japanese. Number one, very good. At home, my mom and dad are speaking Japanese. Were speaking Japanese because they were from the Japanese era. So they often spoke Japanese, and by listening, I learned a little bit. I am Katsuhiko Ro, which is Sangyen Lu, and my address, my home is in Taichung City, Yixing Road, Sanjui, 391 number. I was thinking talking Japanese and becoming English. Skoshi is a little bit. I speak a little bit of Japanese. In Japan, I could use Japanese to buy stuff, and then I would say takai, that means expensive. Too expensive. Takai.
yen. My name is yen.
So Japanese currency is yen, and my name is also yen. In America, I would say my name is yen, and that's the same as Japanese money. So today, in performing Ragaraja, he is a great magnetizing deity, has the same Dharma power as Gurugule Buddha Mother. Once you receive Ragaraja empowerment, you can ask for the great harmony. What is great harmony? Great magnetization, meaning like a president, you are loved and respected by the people. Who clap? Who was the president? So in order to become president, you need to have this great magnetization that people would vote for you, or to be elected as the mayor or council or directors, ministers. You need this great magnetization. In the political world, you need this magnetization, so you can attain it by practicing Ragaraja or Gurugule. Or entertainer, you need to have lots of fans. You also need to practice the magnetizing, the great magnetizing deity, Ragaraja or Gurugule Buddha Mother. Like Tai Ziyuan, Mr. Tai, he loves to attend Ragaraja Dharma ceremony, and he would also come for the Gurugule Buddha Mother Dharma ceremony. So I hope that he would have lots of fans, and that people would like him, and his programs would continue. That his talents and his shows would continue to flourish. Like last week, we were talking about Ajisu, the chef. He also had lots of fans. Most importantly, in order to gain lots of fans, you need to practice Ragaraja, the great magnetizing practice. Or to be a famous person, he needs lots of fans to support him in order for him to become famous. And he also needs the great magnetizing Dharma practice. And so we talk about the great magnetization, the medium magnetization, and the small magnetization. For the great officials, you need the great magnetization. Also for entertainers or artists. For medium magnetization, it's like to become the head of the factory, or the head, like from the survey college last time, he was a major general, or to become a headmaster of the schools. No, not parents. Parents, that's small magnetization, that you have harmony in your home, in your family. But if you want to be elected to become a council person, you also need supporters or fans. Or if you become reps or senator, you need a great magnetization or medium magnetization, and the small magnetizations are inside our families. Or you can ask for marriage. There was a movie called Aizen Katsuta. So this iron, meaning infused with love or infected with love. So if you have attainment of fruition in Ragaraja practice, you can pray to him to have yogic response with another deity, whichever deity you specify. So if you recite Ragaraja mantra 300,000 times, and then you pray to Ragaraja that you want to gain yogic or spiritual response with your yidam, for example, Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, it is very easy to gain yogic response. Because it's like a magnet. So if you pray like Ragaraja or Guru Guli Buddha Mother, it's like a medium, like a matchmaker, that you would be mutually respectful and connected with your yidam. There are many Dharma practices of Ragaraja, not just for magnetization, for love or respect, but there are more, because his Dharma seed is on top of a lotus blossom inside the nectar vase. So there is the nectar water purification Dharma practice, because he is seated on top of a nectar vase. The nectar can detox or cleanse the poisons. So if you are poisoned or toxic, say in Sichuan province, Yunnan province, Guangxi, or Xianggui, in this region in China, this writing, so this is like a spell. So only by practicing Ragaraja that you would be able to eradicate the spell and a certain kind of poisonous insects. And it would also be able to eradicate evil or Mara, or the Dharma of drawing or painting the image, or you have a sculpture, sculpt it, then you can protect yourself. Then you would not be able to suffer from any spells, curses, or black magic. So if you draw or paint Ragaraja for a long time until it's imprinted in your heart, it's very easy to gain spiritual response with him. So the empowerment today would include the nectar vase purification Dharma practice, the eradication of evil Amara, the practice of painting or drawing, the image magnetization Dharma practice, and also carve or sculpting the image Dharma practice. But most importantly is for magnetization, for harmony, love, respect. Today let's recite piece of the book. Prior to Guru Padmasambhava's manifesting his golden body to Guru Liansheng, for over 10 years Guru Liansheng has received empowerments from many lineage gurus and been training very hard and practicing diligently. Guru Liansheng exerted and invested so much in his training, went through numerous hardships and adversities. My dedication to the Dharma was absolute, and it moved Guru Padmasambhava to manifest and transmitted the Tantric Dharma. It is therefore clear that hard training and adversities are the foundation for great attainment. Today, in this degenerate era where no authentic Dharma prevails, where Buddha Dharma and wisdom life are surviving, barely surviving in the midst of windstorm, Guru Liansheng is like the power of the pillar. He symbolizes the sun of Tantrayana that appears in the midst of storms and fogs, sweeping away all darkness. In order to save the dark world, we need the great Dharma gate of Guru Liansheng. Now that Guru Liansheng has attained the fruition of realization, all the Tantric Dharma has manifested, and all the Dharma has been proven. And then when the Dharma is transmitted, then this is the authentic and virtuous great Guru. So the proper and authentic lineage of the Guru is the lineage of Guru Padmasambhava. And the most amazing experience would be the strongest commitment to spiritual cultivation. So, in Taichung Yihuang Temple, the Jade Emperor Temple in Taichung, Golden Mother called on me, and then I came out and kneeled down in front of the Golden Mother, and all of a sudden my divine eye opened. Golden Mother opened my divine or third eye, so I could say that that was the turning point of my life. Afterward, I started to receive, like in the military, prior to entering into the geodesy civil engineering college, we have to be in training for 4 months. The 5th training center at the Donggua mountain, and we received trainings for 8 weeks before and 8 weeks after. And it's the same after I receive the guidance from Golden Mother. I have to be trained. The same thing. We have to still train. That every single night, the intangible spirits taught Grandmaster. Many people, it's hard for many people to believe. Grandmaster's mudra or hand gesture transformations, where did they come from? Well, part of it is because I love to watch the puppet show. It's like this. Taiwanese puppet show. So this character is the most incredible. So you say, oh, you have great Kung Fu. And he always I say? Well, so when you play the puppet show, you place your fingers inside the cloth puppet. So, see, when I perform the mudra transformations, I would go like this. So mudra transformations, you need to have some basic lesson in this puppet show. But actually there are two mudras that were taught at nights, and they would teach me, close your eyes, join your palms. Very interesting. So they would form the mudras automatically. So Grandmaster's mudras were not learned from other gurus, but in the middle of the night, about from midnight to 1 a.m., they would always come to teach me. I was alone by myself, and my hand would move, would open and close by themselves, and turn and move to become lots of mudras. And then they told me what kind of mudras they are, and to ask me to remember them. That's why I know how to form the mudras and teach the masters. Like this is for flowers, incense, lamb, tea, and fruit. The 5 basic offerings: flowers, incense, lambs, tea, and fruit. So I was trained every night for 1 hour. And I stayed by myself in the dorm at that civil engineering team. And I would lit a short incense. I didn't know how to make offering. It would be on the windows. There was a little incense burner and an incense. And they would come and they taught me for 3 years. I was a civil engineer officer. So I have a single room. I stayed by myself in my room, and 2 people in the room. And then over there for the teachers, instructors. And this senior officer or instructor would call Grandmaster Lu, with one barbecue, 3 families would be able to smell. And they would say, oh, survey officer, they would tell me that with 1 incense, all of us would be able to smell. And they ridicule me and laugh at me. Amitabha. We only eat the pork, but not the radish. Actually, it's the other way around, so they joke. That was in the military. So I practiced for 3 years. 3 whole years. And I went through hardships. And not only the hand gestures, also the foot or leg gestures. They would lift my leg and how to make the steps, and the legs or the foot, the feet form the mudras and the body mudras. You know, I've said this, that in the winter, like now, it's cold, and I am inside the blanket and sleeping, and it's midnight. They asked me to get up, to wake up, and I said, no, it's too cold today. Let's take a break. I don't need to train today. And then they lift my legs. And then I was upside down. My head is at the bottom. Of course, I was young. I could do it. So I was upside down, vertical. And then they let me go very lightly. Surrounding people could hear it. So I was punished. I had to get up and train. So that's the great training and adversity. So the 8 weeks, the 8 weeks in the beginning, 8 weeks at the end, that was even harder training. Because I was dating with the girl from the police, from the service department, and I went there. Oh no, the leader had this girlfriend there, and I went there to buy a watermelon, and she recognized me. Are you Tsang Yendu? Yes. How do you know me? Oh, because I read your articles on the newspapers. So, and I said, I want to buy a watermelon. And when I wanted to pay, she said, no need. Let me give you as a gift. So I brought the watermelon, and everybody shared. And then the class leader, gave me a really hard time, because that lady was his girlfriend. So that was really hard training. So, and the class leader asked, who gave this watermelon? I said, oh, the lady that sold the watermelon. Oh, why did she give you a watermelon? Oh, because she likes my poem, my poetry. It's not that she likes me, but every time after that, he always gives me a really hard time. Push-ups and sit-ups and jump like frogs. If you cannot do it, if you couldn't do that, that I would be punished in solitary, and they would throw the guns at me, and I have to catch them right away. Otherwise, like, you didn't polish your shoes or your belt, or your uniform is not right. So I was really being so I had a really hard time. So every time when I go to the service center to buy something, and she wanted to give me something, I said, no, please, no. So I received training for 3 years when I was in the survey team. Every day, every night, I had to get up in the middle of the night for 1 hour. And then the leader, there are 2 leaders. One is Tsang, and in the middle of the night, he would be checking everything, going for rounds, and Tsang Lu stood up and there and is forming all that gestures. He must be mad. He's crazy man. So he called my parents and said, your son is about there. He's crazy. In the middle of the night, I don't know what he's doing. He's doing this, pointing to the sky and pointing to the earth, and pointing to the sky and saying it loudly too. And pointing to the sky, it's responsive. Pointing to the earth, also responsive. Pointing to the human being, become long life. And pointing to the ghost would run away. And then with one stroke, two stroke, one is a river, two is a stream, three and fourth becomes a well. And the class leader was checking and said, what is going on? Is this mad? It's almost, that's it for him. So he called my parents and told them that your son is in big trouble. What kind of trouble? Mental. It's mental breakdown. And then my mom and dad said, really? But when he's home, he seems normal. So there was a really hard time at that survey team. And then the vice leader, who now he's almost 90 years old. He called me. We went to Penghu Island to do the survey. Only he and I. And he called Lu Taiwan. You know, in our survey team, you're very famous. You always talk about Buddha Dharma. That's not good. You shouldn't do that. So, although I went through lots of hardships, he took a pocket full of coins and he asked me, okay, now if you can tell me exactly how many coins I have in my hand, then I would let you go. But otherwise, in the future, in the survey team, you have to shut up totally. But the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas don't like to be tested. So I told them, oh, I know this is a test, but I have to pass this test, otherwise that would be the end of it. And at that time, there was the city god of Penghu that was passing by, and I asked him, please tell me how many coins are in his hand, were in his hand. And the city god told me 14. So this Mr. Wei opened his hand, and there was lots of coins, and he counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 4 more. Truly, 14 of them. So at that time, Wei Jingping immediately took refuge in me. So in the survey team, then they knew that Tsang Lu was a psychic. And there's another officer that often asks for spiritual consultation with me then afterwards. And then Later on, when I went to the factory manufacturing, that's even worse. That the leader there was observing me for 5 years. So those 5 years was really a hard time too. So this is the hardship that I have to go through. That there are lots of adversities that I have to encounter. So you need to have a very strong willpower. And then after I wrote the first spiritual book, and then there was another author that wrote one book that's called The Demon and Evil Tsang Lu, and the other one wrote something like Deviant Practitioner Tsang Lu. They wrote something really horrible about Grandmaster Lu, and when I read those books, I was really sad and grieving with tears. And then ever since, the slanders, defamation started and continued until today. So that's why there are lots of hardships, adversities, and suffering throughout the training and practice. The same with Sakyamuni Buddha, that he was being defamed by Sundoli and Tsang, two evil women, and then also from the 6 great masters from the cults or the deviant path, that all slandered and defamed Sakyamuni Buddha. So to be a Mahasiddha, you need a great adversities or hardships to train you. See, only then, with adversity and hardships, that would be the foundation for the spiritual fruition. And Grandmaster has attained the fruition of realization. And what is that? That once you awaken, you have enlightenment, you gain enlightenment, and then you see the Buddha nature. Because as a human being, every one of us is always be deluded from fame or our name, reputation, or benefits and gains, or sex, or sensual sensibility, sensual things. And these 3 are all attachments. So every one of us would have attachments to these 3. Is there eternity in this world? In the material world, there is no eternity. Look at the weather these days. Everything is ever-changing. Buddha Sakyamuni has taught that everything is impermanent. That today you may be alive, but tomorrow you're gone. Everything is impermanent. Can you guarantee that tomorrow you would still be alive? Who knows? There are lots of car accidents. Sometimes someone would disappear all of a sudden. Sometimes maybe with an illness or accident, then you're gone. Who could guarantee anything that you are eternal? Love, romantic love, is definitely not eternal. Your houses also not forever. They would deteriorate eventually, or your cars would also break down, and you need to change cars, change houses, including your bodies. They are not eternal. Moreover, outside things like fame, name, benefits or gain, and sex and sensuality. This is the ultimate truth. So you need to comprehend this. You need to understand this in order to live with mastery. Otherwise, you would be imprisoned in your mistaken senses. So, a true realization, a true awakening, then you truly understand all this. So when your love ends or anything goes away, like your cars, you're still fine. Like if you're sick, you're not forever. Your house not forever. Your cars are not forever. Or sometimes the government all of a sudden say we need to have a road here and we need to tear down your house. You think that your house would stay forever? No. Right? So you need to have friction in your realization. So A asked B, oh, she watched that she has a new watch. Where did you get it? Oh, this is a prize. From where? Oh, it's from a race. Oh, what kind of race? A race of 3 people. Well, I was the first, and behind me was the person that lost the watch, and the third one was the policeman. So even the watch is not yours. One day it would break down, and then you need to change your watch. So if you lose your watch one day, you need to change your watch too. Nothing stays forever. Let me give you a few examples, right? So this is one of the fruit of realization. A person went to the police station to report that the car's equipments were stolen. At the steering wheels and the seats and everything was stolen inside the car. And then he made a call to the police station and said, "Oh, how come the steering wheel is gone and the sticks are gone and everything is gone?" And then later on he said, "Oh no, don't need to worry about this because I was drunk and I sat in the passenger seat." So even cars are not forever. If you're in an accident or if it breaks down, you need to change cars, so they're not forever. So everything is ever changing. The same with our bodies. Nothing is forever. So you need to have this kind of realization. The sister, this is the first time the sister was killing the fish and just couldn't do it. And then finally he held the fish under the water, and then I asked her, "What are you doing?" "Well, I was trying to drown the fish." But fish, I admire fish. There was a song. I'm like a fish swimming inside your pond, and I receive the moonlight. With the 4 seasons, the flowers are still fragrant and waiting for you to play in the water. So that's fish swimming in the water. But even fish can change. When it was fished by someone or caught in the net, fisherman's net, then the fish would not be so poetic anymore. So are the fish happy? Yes, they're happy. The Grandmaster painted a fish, and the fish are always very happy. But when the fish were caught, then they would be dead for sure. Human beings too maybe would be happy. But when you're ill or you're sick, then you would be dead for sure. So dead for sure. Oh, there was a news about kids. But hey, I'm not threatening you. But what I'm saying is, if you encounter an accident or suffer from sickness, then you're dead for sure. Everything will change, not just fish, birds, mammals, human beings. They're all changing, ever changing. Everything is impermanent. This is the realization of the Buddha. Nothing is forever, including romantic love. It's not forever. This joke. A husband and a wife are sleeping inside the blanket, and the husband was sneezing and sneezed at her. And the wife said, well, if this will happen again, please warn me. And then not long the husband said, okay, be forewarned. And then the wife covered her face with the blanket, and the husband farted. So there's no need to avoid it, to try to prevent it. When Grandmaster was coughing, everybody gave me cough medicine and also preventative medicines. Now I'm cured of my coughing, and they brought me some cordyceps powder and cordyceps and some royal jelly. Oh, propolis. And pear, and lily bulbs. Lots of those. But there's no need. When you're supposed to cough, you will still cough. When you're supposed to be sick, you would still be sick. So that's why the prevention sometimes doesn't work. So you need to remember that everything is impermanent. That in the world, there is nothing that is eternal. There is nothing that's everlasting. You say that I love you for trillions of years. That's a very long time. Or loving you for 10,000 years. Who sang that song? Anyone can sing this song? I always tell my girlfriends, I will love you for 1,000,000,000,000 years. But it's not forever, because after 1,000,000,000,000 years later, it's gone.
在座很多的这个，也有很多的这个离婚就是离婚，离婚。
There are many people who are divorced
也有离婚的，也有单亲的，当初的
or single parents.
永恒。
But at that time, you also say to each other that you love each other forever, right?
Forever， 永远爱你，就是 forever 是假。
But forever is fake. Nothing is forever.
缘分没有，就 no。
After a certain period of time, it will be gone. When the affinity is gone, it will be gone. So that is the ultimate truth. Everything is impermanent. You need to have such realization so that you don't suffer. Otherwise, you would be caught by it and you suffered miserably. And you have no more tears even when you cry. Or perhaps you even commit suicide. There are many people who kill themselves because they cannot get what they love. So, if one loves and the other doesn't, at the end, they end their lives. That's also attachment. You still need to live happily no matter what. So this is a fifth instruction. This is the key point. You need to have this realization in a lot of things. A 65-year-old rich man loves a 25-year-old young lady, and he asks his friend that if I tell her that I'm only 45, would she marry me? Oh, it's better if you tell her that you're 85. Then it's the probability of she is marrying you would be greater. Or tell her that you're 90, because very soon you would ding ding, then she would have great inheritance, right? So this is a different kind of love. So you need to have this realization. The grandson wants some money from the grandma, and the grandma asks, why? Why does the school always want money? And what's the money for? To buy uniform. And then the grandma said, but I'm not even dead yet. Why do you want to buy the uniform? And the uniform in Chinese also sound like a filial outfit that you would wear when your family member are dying. So, and then the grandson said, but the whole school needs it, so it must be your headmaster that died. So every human being would die eventually. So the slanders, the defamations outside, even Grandmaster Lu too would die one day, and the slanderers too would die one day, and everyone would die eventually. So why are you so scared of the slanders or defamation? There's no need. There's no need to be scared of the slanders. If people insult you, defame you, mistake you, no worry. No, there's no need to be scared or afraid. You still need to be committed in your spiritual cultivation, and you train and practice and to have realization. One day Grandmaster Lu will die. There's no need to slander him anymore because he's dead already. Even if they continue to slander, no need, I cannot hear it anyway. And the slanderers too would die one day. So if you will die and the slanderers will also die, the slanderous that's happening around will also be gone eventually. So what are you afraid of? There's nothing to be afraid of. So a truly realized or truly enlightened person would have the spirit of no big deal. Nothing would bother him. Even when he's being hit, being defamed, being insulted, being mistreated, being bullied, being elected or not elected, it's fine. Doesn't matter whether you're beautiful or ugly or whatever you eat today or whatever you eat tomorrow, doesn't matter. I don't care. Then you have entered the first step of this friction of realization. Om Mani Padme Hum.